What's up, guys? This is video number 3, second semester gunsmithing student here at Trinidad State Junior College. Yay! What I'm going to cover is, first I'm going to go over my favorite bore cleaner, why it's my favorite bore cleaner, and the experience that I had that made it my favorite bore cleaner. And then I'm going to just give you guys kind of a rundown on what inletting a bolt is, because I may have had a few statuses about that in the process there. And then just kind of update you on what's been going on in the last week and a half since my last video. My favorite bore cleaner is Impro 7, and this is not an advertisement, and I'm not recommending that you go get Impro 7 because, I don't know, I'm just going to be required to say that, I guess, for whatever reason, because I'm not advertising it, I'm not being paid to advertise it. I'm not saying it's better than a different cleaner that I've never tried, it's just my favorite right now. The reason it's my favorite is because I had never taken my Glock fully apart. I probably put about 1,000 rounds through it, and I'd never taken it all the way down to the frame and the slide and then all the pieces that it can possibly be taken apart, and cleaned it, or Keithed it, as I like to refer to it, because my instructor likes to have firearms clean beyond what any normal person would have them clean. So I stripped it down, and it took me 6 hours to clean the barrel to his liking. The reason it took me 6 hours, there were two reasons. One was because I'd never apparently cleaned it well. 3 reasons. 2 was the brush that comes with the Glocks is like a nylon sort of brush, and it doesn't do squat. You could scrub all day with it, and it won't do anything. And I learned that the hard way because I scrubbed with it for a while, and then I switched to a copper brush, and I scrubbed with that for a while. Finally, I had enough, and so I went and bought a stainless steel brush, which is what he recommends for all guns, stainless steel, for 2 reasons. He recommends them: 1, because they last longer, and 2, because they're more abrasive, and they'll get that copper buildup and that lead buildup and that carbon buildup out faster. So, another reason it took me so long is because the bore cleaner I was using, I don't know if it was because it's 2 years old. I doubt it, because it's it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an acid. Whatever. If you can think of the word that I'm trying to think of, a solvent. Solvent? Yeah, I think it's solvent. Solvent's the word I'm thinking of. I don't think that ever deteriorates with time. It just stays there. But Keith had some of this K-Pro 7 in his lab, and I tried that, and within 20 minutes the barrel was clean. So, for those of you who are Glock owners and don't know this, Glock barrels are notorious for getting Keith cleaned, which means spotless. Little side note, 3 hours into it I showed one of my classmates. He's like, "Dude, that looks clean." I showed Keith. Keith said it wasn't clean. 3 hours later I showed the same classmate, and he said it looks exactly the same. "Have you done anything to it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I spent 3 hours cleaning it." Took it to Keith, and he said it was clean. So between me and my classmate, we couldn't see a difference, but Keith apparently could see a difference. So, K-Pro 7 gun cleaner is my favorite because it got Keith's approval on the Glock barrel. On inletting the bolt. Here's my bolt. Its final shape isn't quite done yet. I do need to just polish it some more. Hold it up there. It used to be sticking straight out this way, and now it's bent over, shaped, polished a little bit. To finish this, I'm just going to file 2 little flats here on the side, just as like little thumb grips, so I have sharper corners to grab onto instead of this round ball. And I'll finish polishing it, and that'll be done. But the inletting of the bolt is actually done on the action here, and you can see that shiny spot right there. That's where I've been inletting, and I'm pretty sure that I'm done. I don't want to do any more, because if I over inlet, I have to weld up that whole thing and start over, and that would be awful, because it's taken me about 3 hours to get to where I am now, of painstaking labor. Very tedious, very annoying. Okay. Man, my voice is cracking like crazy. Not enough sleep. So anyway, what I did is, before the bolt wouldn't close all the way, come down all the way to where it's locked up, where the lockup lugs up here are locked up, where the firing pin, if I were to pull the trigger, would shoot out the front, and the cams would actually work. inside, so I wouldn't have any misfires, I won't have any bolt jump. You know, it just sat up here on this ledge before. And so to get it to fit, I had to come down here and cut a radius into the bolt, or into the action, right here, so that the bottom of the bolt could fit down there. And I did that using a Dremel tool. Actually, I pretty much did it all just using a Dremel tool. A little bit of filing, but really not much. And then I used this kerosene lamp, which produces really black smoke. See? Black smoke. So that darkens it up, and then you can see the high points when you close the bolt down on it, and you just remove the high points. And you keep doing that over and over and over again until the bolt finally closes. And since you really don't know when the bolt is fully closed, he gave us a way to look. This hole back here, when the bolt rotates over, there's a locking cam in here inside the shroud. And as it rotates over, there's actually a little groove in the cam where the safety goes. And so when the safety plunger is inside the cam, you know, you can't move the bolt at all. And that's, you know, for when it's firing and when it's, you know, open. There's a cam in there. And so we knew it was closed when the bolt rotated over far enough that the cam showed up. And so there'd be like, you know, a little U-shaped thing that would come into view, and then there you go, and you wouldn't see the cam anymore inside the shroud. That's how you know when it's locked up. Me, I can just barely see the cam in there. I mean, it's just ever so slightly. And so I didn't want to go any farther until I talked to Ryan, because I really don't have to pull it up and do it all over again. So that's inletting a bolt. That's what I've been doing. Tuesday we start on our bottom metal, which is this part. We're going to modify that by putting in a push button here so that the bottom part, this part, will come off and you can empty the magazine without having to individually pull each cartridge out. So that's what I've been up to. Got to work on the duplicator on Monday, and for the first time, and it was crazy. It was extremely nerve-wracking. I was pouring sweat. I was shaking like, oh man, it was nuts. The machine is crazy. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow, and I'll post it on Facebook so you guys can see what the duplicator is if you haven't seen one. What else? I found a church. I thought you guys would like to know that. I did find a church. I met through God. Basically, it was a God thing. That's all I can say. Is I met the pastor of Fishers Peak Community Church, which is a Southern Baptist church. Name's Dave Cook. He's a super great guy. Really like him. I've gone there 2 weeks now. Today I participated in communion there, and it was cool to see how a smaller church of about 150 people partakes of communion compared to where I went at Westy Free. It's very much more personalized, very much more family-oriented. It was cool. I got invited by a family to join them with communion, and I was just sitting on the same row. I don't even know them. They invited me to go. This week I was greeted by 3 new people, or last week I was greeted by 3 different people. So I've been greeted by like 6 different people, and they're very interested in, you know, why I'm here, where I'm from. It's just really cool to see a small group of believers under such a great man that God is clearly working through and working in these people's lives. I don't know, it's just a different experience than I'm used to, having grown up in Houston and Dallas and Wichita and churches of 500 plus people, you know. So really enjoying it, really enjoying the fellowship with those people. Possibly going to get started hanging out with some of the teenagers. There's a real need for Christian young men there, as most of them don't have fathers or mothers. You know, one or the other has run off or died, or, you know, it's a very broken community, but it's made whole by Christ, and it's cool to see. So that's just personal life right there. Other than that, everything's going. It's going. You know. So this has been my 3rd installment. The next video I do will probably be after I finish the bottom metal, and I'll probably post pictures of my finished bolt, unless something really super interesting happens in the next couple weeks, 2 days, 3 days, couple weeks in between there. Probably won't be posting another video. So I'll catch you guys next time.